Okay, testing it like this. Da 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 da. Or we can do it like that. Kind of cute. Don't really know. Bangs. Oh. No bangs. Okay. No. That will do. Do I need my shoulders out? Ooh. Can't decide. 4, 3, 2, 1. Da-ba-da-ba-da. Hey YouTube. We're gonna start this. Right. Now it's really in my head. Welcome back to another episode of Eyes Up Here. I'm your host, Lindsay Palos. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I have got my YouTube camera recording. In true Lindsay Palos fashion, it's recording right into the mirror where I'm staring at myself. Well, I'm staring at you in the camera. So if you want to watch this version, you can go to my YouTube channel. Just like this podcast is Coachella weekend too, so is my YouTube. It's just for fun right now. It's not so thought out. It's not very produced. It's just me and right now. I am sick. Well, I'm recovering. I was a little bit sick last week and my assistant's sick. And our male correspondent, Adam, is out of the country at a wedding in Europe. Lucky guy. So I miss them, but I'm all alone. And I was like, let me put something out this week. Let me give it a little go. And I'm trying to get into the spirit of filming this show. Just for fun. Everything's still just very for fun. I feel like I gotta say that over and over again. I don't know. Everything's so try hard. I'm like, can we try less? Can we just try everything a little less hard? I'm over it. It's too hard, but no, I'm so excited to chat and talk to you. I did an Instagram prompt where I didn't ask me anything. And that's the cheapest version of podcasting you can get, where you ask people to ask you questions to give you content. But I figured that you would forgive me this one time because I am sick, okay? And by the way, I don't know what I have or whatever, and it's so political now to say what you think you have. So you can call it whatever the hell you want. I had a fever. I sound like I've been smoking for 20 years. I'm not a smoker. It's kind of sexy though. This voice is a little bit like, hey, sugar. This is a hey, baby. I don't know. I feel like we could go to Atlantic City. Or does it sound insane? It sounds kind of hot to me, but and why is she going to Atlantic City? God, I don't know. And why is she going to sugar? Anyway, the point is, I'm on the mend. Shout out to Dayquil and NyQuil. I binged all of Sex and the City pretty much. I gotta say, I know it's probably not a guy's show, and I know a lot of guys listen to this, but I was trying to think what's the closest thing a guy had to Sex and the City, and maybe it's Entourage. I guess just in the way, like, it was approximately 4 buddies that they were following around. I feel like there was 4. But Entourage was a little, well, he was a star. He had a little bit more star power, I think, than Carrie Bradshaw. But yeah, those were the kind of, I guess that's the only thing I could compare it to. But I watched all the Sex and the City, and it is so freaking entertaining as an adult woman, because I watched it when I was in college and I thought it was entertaining. But now that I'm a real adult and my friends really do date people and I date people and they go on these horror stories, I'm like, this show is so, like, people aren't hooking up like the show, I don't think. But the show is so accurate in just the level of ludicrousy that is modern dating. Nothing has changed. In fact, maybe everything got a little worse. But, no. Oh no, Tosh is I'm being summoned by Tosh. Oh, growling at me and everything? I gotta go, all right. Hold on, I'm putting the mic down. Oh, you hear him growling at me? Come here. What, you think someone's getting attention without you? Sorry. Okay, I got him. Wow, I love those little growls, though I can't lie. I love everything he does. I love his little barks, I love his little growls. The man is cute. Okay, but yes, I watched all of Sex and the City. I've also been watching that show, Your Honor. It's kind of dark. It's kind of dark. No, it's very, very dark. But I'm watching that on Netflix. But it's almost too scary that I'm like, oh, I can't keep up. So anyway, I'm sorry if I'm out of breath. It is whatever mystery illness that I have going on. But by the way, the fact that we're arguing so much now that like we can't, like even what kind of sickness someone has is a debate. And I understand everybody, but like, in what world have we let these nerds convince us to spend our life fighting? Because at the end of the day, that's what really ticks me off the most. Like, there are some powerful nerds, nerd geniuses. I use nerds as a term of endearment because I'm a nerd too, but there are a few very powerful nerds who have convinced us to spend our life arguing. They have literally found ways to keep us addicted to... Hello? Hold on, Tosh is interfering. Tosh, Buddy. Oh. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna have to do it like this. But yeah, no, we're like addicted to these fighting devices. I cannot. The reason why I can't even entertain any kind of political discussion or any kind of debate on the internet anymore, I used to be so into it when I was younger, but now I'm just like, you think that I'm gonna do what these guys want me to do? And that is argue with my fellow neighbor? Out of your mind. Out of there. Can I put you down? Okay. And sorry, so since I'm talking alone, there's probably going to be like weird stream of consciousness going on. I have been accused of having attention problems or gifts. You can be the judge of whatever you think I have. I don't care. Anyway. Okay, so I did the Ask Me Anything on Instagram, so we're going to do some questions that I didn't answer there yet. And I haven't checked which ones I'm going to answer, so I'm just going to kind of free reign this. Okay, here we go. Ask me a question. Ooh, okay, here we go. Coming in hot. When was the last time a man took you on a proper date? The Jeopardy music is playing in my head. Do, 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 do. No. I'm counting. Wait. Proper date? At least 2 weeks ago. And proper's kind of proper. I feel like I was a little generous because I went to them, so I don't know if that's considered but okay, my new thing with dating, I'm used to guys picking me up, or like that's a part of the date, but I do think I'm going through a phase where if I do go on a date, I'd rather meet you there, because I kind of like the suspense of not knowing what you look like, or like not knowing what you're dressed like, or I don't want to kill the mood of that excitement in the car. So lately I've been into, when I do go on dates, I want to take myself. I want to drive there myself, because I like how it feels to be like, ooh, like I like the rush of driving and meeting someone where I can go out with them. Or Ubering, you know what I mean? Don't ever drink and drive. So yeah, proper date, I mean, I guess at least 2 weeks ago. And I don't know if I should answer a follow-up for that. Okay. Are your boobs real? Yeah, oh my God. We don't know each other by now. Like, it's been a while. A, you can't tell. B, what? You know, I did follow this girl for a long time, and I thought she had really great boobs. And I was like, and I recently saw them topless somewhere. I saw them on another site or somewhere. Like, they just literally popped up. And I thought that they were natural the whole time. And I was like, oh my God, they're so perfectly done. But no, these are natural. They move a lot. Okay. Just listened to your June 6th podcast and I loved it. I'm going to try meditation because of you. I love that. You're on a deserted island. What is one album that you would have to have with you? On a deserted island, I have to have one album with me. Ooh, I would want something that's got a lot of range. Something that takes me a lot of different places at once. So I would want something like an old, what was it called? Pearl Jam? Remember when they did Jock Jams. Remember the Jock Jam CDs where it was like all the or like the Now 14, or like, you know, any of the Now 1 through 105. But I would want something with a lot of range, like something with the best of multiple genres. I really wish something would be telling me a story, because if we're on an island, I'm going to get so bored. I'd really like to hear a story. But what is the way to your heart? I really like feeling safe. So that's actually the biggest, I think that's now, everything changes, but I think the biggest way to my heart now would someone who makes me feel safe. Not only emotionally safe, and I'd like to feel emotionally safe. I like someone who makes my ego feel safe. And ego isn't necessarily a negative thing. It's something that we all have, and I want someone who can protect that, because we want our egos to feel good. And I'd like to feel safe physically. So if someone really actually was concerned about my physical safety, I would find that deeply attractive. So safety, yeah, I think safety is like the biggest turn on of all time. And oh my God, I would like reward someone so much if I felt safe in all those ways. Like, I don't even think it's like, I don't know, everyone's different, but that would be like, I would give you everything. I would be so doting and like I would do anything you wanted if you made me feel safe. Was Pamela Anderson your inspiration? To be honest, I'm a fan of a lot of people. I admire everyone in so many ways. Like I've never been the person with like someone specific on a wall, or like, except for Mark Wahlberg. I'm sorry. When I was in high school, that was my crush, and that still is, I'll say, my #1 man crush. But I never really, I looked up to a lot of things as wholes. So like I looked up to Playboy and the magazine as a whole entity. And I always thought like WWE divas were amazing. And I thought female cheerleaders were so cool. And so I always had this glamour. I always had that glamour was always really interesting to me. And swimsuit models I thought were really cool. So yeah, I think when you think about Playboy, she would be one of the most defining features of the brand. I'm one of the most defining people of the brand. So absolutely she's inspired me. And I actually didn't really realize how much until I watched the documentary and watched her background, and you kind of just see the way she influenced so much of the culture that I love was her behind all of that. And I think that's really, it's just the coolest thing, but she's the coolest. And when I met her, it was at the after party of her documentary, and she comes up, and I didn't know what to say, because I'm like, what do you say? Like, what do you say? What would you want me to say? And maybe I should have prepared. I never thought I would ever meet her in my life. I had no idea what to say. So I wanted to be as like, I want to have as much admiration as I could. And like, because I hate when people act too cool. And that is not my thing. Like, act like you recognize the person, like you know that person. Like, I just watched a whole documentary about this person's life that they were so generous enough to make and share with the world. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be as, I guess as admiring as I could be. So anyway, she comes up and the first thing my brain goes is, I'm obsessed with you. I thought that was like the best thing I could say. And she was smiling, sweet. I don't even remember the response. But it was very nice and cool. We danced. And I gotta tell you guys, so beautiful. Like, so beautiful. So beautiful, so beautiful. So beautiful. So painfully beautiful. Okay. And just like this, like, just feminine, sexy, oozing, powerful aura. That is, it's just beautiful. Okay. Nothing to do with Instagram. Oh, we're gonna skip that. I really should have like circled these before. Do you have a boyfriend? No one's asked me to be their girlfriend, so I'm gonna go with no. I don't have a boyfriend. You gotta ask, right? Don't you still have to ask? Let's see. We already answered some of these. That's fine. Last movie you saw in theaters, I think it was The Challengers, but I could be wrong. I could have missed something and forgotten. How to ask a girl out when she has a government job and I'm unemployed. Well, that's interesting. I mean, you can ask someone out no matter what your job statuses are. I think asking everyone out is like totally legal and you're allowed to. But if you're afraid that your unemployment status might deter her because she's got a job, a professional job, that's okay. Everyone has the right not to like us, and we reserve the right not to like other people. It's actually a beautiful thing when you accept that people don't have to like us and we don't have to like them. It's a wonderful thing, and it only works if we let it work both ways. So I wouldn't let it you miss all the shots you don't take. So I think you should go for it if you feel like you should. But, and if there's something that you feel insecure about, maybe I think that's a great motivation to change your life for the better if that's something that bothers you. Because it sounds like it bothers you, so. Do blondes have more fun? And do blondes and brunettes feel like they're in a competition? Well, I have naturally very dark hair. And so I really do think when I was younger, I realized that blondes got a lot of attention, a lot of even unnecessary attention. Blonde hair can be kind of like height, where sometimes people think, oh, they're hot. And it's like, no, they're tall. That guy's tall, and that's it. And that girl's tall, and that's it. It works actually for both. But I feel like with blondes, it's like that too. Someone will see a blonde and they'll be like, oh, she's so hot. And it's like, she might just be blonde, this one. But, so no, I don't know if there's a competition. And I don't like the idea that women have to be competing about hair or anything. But I will always say this. This is one of my favorite things that I noticed in life. And it's, there's a big difference when someone talks about their boyfriend or their husband or someone, or a man, and they said, oh, he was hanging out at the bar with some girls. There's that. And then there's the statement, Well, he was hanging out at the bar with some blondes. There's such a different tone to the second one. And for that reason, I will always be a blonde. Whether that is bad or good, but you be the judge. So it's very interesting how stereotypes and all that stuff work. Could you imagine if I was brunette? People would probably take me seriously. But I think I like a little bit of whimsy. I think blonde is very whimsical. I don't know. There's something a little. It's flirty. It's and you can make it is a little. It's just kind of whimsy to it that I think is sweet for me. But I like it all. Instant green flag. Ooh. What's an instant green flag? Okay, an instant green flag. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, it's kind of hard because now I'm like, I know how people can put on a show. So it's almost like I don't trust anything if it's kind of fake. Oh, you know what I really like? You know what I really like? I like someone who knows how to drive. Does that sound crazy? Okay, I like someone who knows how to drive. I like someone who's getting in a car and he can get us there safely at an appropriate speed, who's not screaming at anyone or not getting in a tizzy because he's in a car. There's nothing, I could not date someone who's got like road rage all the time. I'm always like, do you have a real problem? To be arguing about driving all day is a little bit silly. And I think everyone can do better if they just kind of drive with the idea that some people are going to be really, really bad at it. And it's not personal. They're just incompetent. And that's okay. People's incompetence isn't their malice. But anyway, yeah, so I think a green flag for me is someone who can drive. Someone who can drive and drive safely. That is a turn on. Because I can feel safe with it. See, it always goes back to the safety thing. I just want to feel safe. I think so many women, we just want to feel safe. And it really is down to stuff like, can I be in the car with this man and I feel like I don't have to help him drive? Like, because I've dated guys where I'm like, I have to look over the shoulder. I have to really make sure that he's doing this as best he can because I don't think he's doing it to the best of human ability. You know what I mean? And it's like, we would be more safe. We would be safer if I was assisting this man driving. That sounds so obnoxious, but I don't mean it that way. I mean it in the safety of he and I. So, yeah, man, wow, it really always goes down to safety. Gosh, we really want that, or at least I do. And I feel like that makes so much sense. It makes so much sense, like, just in an animal kingdom perspective, you know? I really crave safety, and it's so fun. It's so, I really do believe that you get the best of, you can really get the best of women when you make them feel loved and you make them feel safe. It all goes down to the basics. It's so crazy to me. That's why all these crazy podcasts where they argue about high value and low value and what do you bring to the table and what are you going to do for me? No. Right? That is dumbish stuff. That's the dumbest, most pathetic shit I've ever seen. But it's so crazy because it is so simple. People just want to be loved. And I really would just love to be loved and feel safe in all those ways. So simple, right? You would think. Anyway, but I'll stop. Well, maybe I'll rant a little bit. I feel like that's why a lot of people too are into situationships or they don't want to fully commit, because to make someone feel safe requires an effort on your part. It requires like being conscious about where you spend your time or how this person might perceive you. It requires effort, and it is a little bit of extra work. It should be work you think has a great reward. But I think a lot of people don't want to get into relationships because they really enjoy doing anything they want, whenever they want. And I think, I don't know, I think people just aren't, I don't know if people are seeing what they're missing out on sometimes. I just think people are trying so hard to retain these freedoms that they don't even necessarily, they might actually be enjoying themselves more if they dedicated more kindness and more commitment to other people. Does that make any sense? Wow, I'm getting really deep. If this sounds slow at all, I'm going to cut so much of this out, but who cares? Why don't you push for a movie career, or you aren't interested? Yeah, I'm so interested. I actually do. I have done a lot of acting projects. I don't talk about it. Every time that I've gotten offered a job, whether it's on a movie or a show, and in LA, a lot of things won't get picked up, or they'll get there'll be an international movie, or you'll never see it, whatever. But I've actually been acting for a few years, and I like it enough to know that when I do get an opportunity, I will stop whatever I'm doing and I'll go. So, and even if it doesn't pay me super well, but if I know I'm working with, a great team, or if I got a lot of dialogue, or because I think the best work is learned on set, and I've actually been on a lot of sets, and I'm very comfortable in my acting work actually now. So I think I love it. I think it's fun. I actually do have a very oddly, I think there will be more acting in my future. I have a feeling that will happen. I have a feeling that I planted those seeds for a reason. But the industry is kind of complicated. I feel like it's hard. I don't have a stage mom or dad, and I don't have a famous parent or a connected parent, and that's fine. Plenty of people didn't. But so I think I just kind of have to claw my way into whatever I want to be in a way that's different. I have to figure out, I kind of have to figure out a way to be seen, which sounds cheesy, but it's true. I kind of have to do this like the old school way. I have to be at the right place at the right time, and I have to be as prepared as I can be. Or I have to do it another way. I have to, invest in a movie, put myself in it. There are ways to do things, but I am convinced that I have the ambition and the stubborn, relentless. But I do know I have a relentless and stubborn and attitude that I'm really not worried about me. I'm gonna figure it all out. It's just, I'm actually in a little bit of a metamorphosis, I think, in my life. I'm trying to figure out who I want to be and what I want to do next. And I love that my boobs and my looks have gotten me to a certain place in life. But I think the brains are even more interesting. And I think I have talents that I would like to explore. So that was a very long answer. But no, I'm interested in acting. I do act. I keep it very quiet when I do. But I've worked with really cool people. I've actually worked with a lot of celebrity actors and actresses, and I really hope that I get my... Look, if the world is fair, I'll get my shot. But I don't know. What else do we have? What's more beautiful, your look or your heart? It's my heart, for sure. I think I was always really sassy growing up, too. I think if you followed me for a long time, I didn't lead with my softness or my soft attitude. Because when you're a kid and you're growing up, you're kind of like... And I think people treated me a certain way because of how I looked. And it really confused me. It really upset me. It angered me. I didn't understand why people saw me and they treated me a certain way. But now that I've had enough awareness, I understand why they did. I understand why they will forever. And but I don't know. I feel like I can be a softer person now, if that makes any sense. But that doesn't mean I won't come for you if you need me to. I'm strong when I have to really take up for somebody else or handle business on someone else's behalf, for sure. Gosh, if someone ever... You don't even want to know what I would do to save my touche. Are you a witch? What? Am I a witch? Well, back in the day, they, whenever it was the Salem witch trials, it was women. I think, from my understanding, there were a lot of women who would make these innovations or have these intuitions or who thought a little bit differently. And if that is a witch, I absolutely am. I'm very intuitive. I have very powerful dreams. I can manifest pretty hardcore. But the dreams, the intuition, and the signs, they're shocking. I would like to do a podcast one day on some of those stories because I think they're going to freak you out. But I'm connected to a certain energy source that I think we're all a part of. But I'm very honest about my connection to it. And I value it very much. So sounds very strange, but I don't think it is strange. These are so fun. I could do this forever, actually. I hope I don't sound too smoky. Smokery. Why don't you join the adult industry? I love that. You should be in movies. You should do adult all over the board. Why don't I just become a doctor? No, I'm very shy intimately like that. I really admire people who do whatever they want to do and enjoy that lifestyle. It's just not my lifestyle in any way. Wait, hold on, you guys. This dog is begging to be up. Oh, well, incoming. He's so cute. Oh my God, you're cute. Have you ever been to Alaska? Oh my God, no. I wish. That's one of my dream vacations is an Arctic cruise. And I think they exist. One of my friends went on one recently, and she did everything, you guys. She was kayaking through glaciers. Could you imagine kayaking through glaciers? I want to cry thinking about it. Late at night before I go to bed, I watch videos of whales and glaciers. She was kayaking through glaciers. You see penguins. I'm sure they went by polar bears. They might have stopped by sea lions and stuff. Imagine seeing the whales in a frozen climate. I would lose my mind. That is my dream vacation, ultimate dream vacation. Oh my God, there's nothing I'd want to see more. I don't know. I don't know why. The idea of seeing frozen landscape and life, I would lose my mind. I would literally lose my mind. So no, short answer, no. I haven't been. I can't wait to go one day. That's one of my ultimates. And it's crazy about growing up too. You kind of save these things in your head. You're like, oh, if I ever get married, that'd be my honeymoon. That's like my dream thing. But when you're actually an adult, you're like, oh, you need to pick if I'm married or if I'm 47. Whatever age where you're like, oh, if that isn't gonna happen, like maybe you should treat yourself at a reasonable time. So I don't know. I feel like I should make like bucket list. Like if I get married and we go on this, or my 40th birthday, whichever comes sooner or at all. I think that would be pretty good. You're cute. I'm saying you're cute to the messages, you guys. I'm saying these are all cute. Would you date a guy who has an interest in science and mathematics? Of course. Those weren't my best subjects, actually. I wish I could do school with the brain I had now. The brain I have now could comprehend a lot more. Are any of you like this, where you're like, I wish I got to learn that later with this brain? Because some of it was too much. I was really, really good, and I was a good student. I went to school on a scholarship. I graduated from college. I was always good in school, great GPA. In college, I had an average GPA. But I felt like even learning physics my senior year, I just could not comprehend what was going on. They were talking about one thing, and there were 14 other things going on. And now I have the brain that could totally do that, and I would do that with joy. But it was hard. I don't know. Some of that stuff, I don't know if my brain is ready for this, but now I feel like I could do it. Do any of you feel like that? I'm just dying to know if I'm not the only one. Let me know in the comments, actually, because me and my friend were just talking about this week. What's a good day for me? Ooh, a good day for me is, I actually am pretty good about recognizing my best days of my life. And I found that more often than not, they'll be on a Saturday or Sunday, because I'll feel more relaxed. So I'll feel relaxed about like work or something. I'll feel less pressure. And then I find that usually I've had an interaction with someone. It could be romantic, it could be friendly, it could be nothing, but if I just feel connected to someone, and if it's beautiful weather and there's like music playing. I know that sounds pretty boring, but I don't know. I really like feeling peaceful and at ease. And I don't feel that much. So the days that I do, those are the best days of my life. Oh my gosh. What are we doing? We're still going. How long, Josh? He is 11 and a half. You're 11 and a half. Just so he's a Sagittarius. That makes sense. He's very popular. I feel like Sagittarius people are so popular. What do you do when you feel lonely? I journal. When I write about things, usually whatever terrible feeling I have, if I write about it, it is so much better. It's amazing how it works. I would like to look up the science of that. If they've measured what happens to the brain after you journal something, I'm going to look that up immediately after this podcast. No, should I look it up now? Because it's so interesting, you guys. Wait, brain after journaling. Google. Wait, science of journaling. I want to see a study. I want to see. Do you guys? I look up studies all the time. It's one of my favorite things. I'll be up late at night and I'll be like, okay, see the study on dopamine in the brain. Let's look up. I look up like criminal studies a lot. I'm very into research. I think it's really fun. And I didn't realize that might be like. I didn't know if. I assumed everyone did that. And then recently, I asked myself, people do this a lot. I'm looking up research all the time. I think it's very interesting. The scientific benefit of journaling. Show me a fact. Symptoms of major depression. 20 minutes and higher negative mood. Excuse me, what is skin conductance? Hold on. Skin. Here we go. More seriously. What was your favorite time to learn about as a history major? When I was getting my history degree, I think I really just enjoyed the classes that were the best. Because one of the classes that was, I think, the most impactful was a very dark class. It was about something dark. I don't even want to say it because it's so dark and scary. So It was one of the most impactful classes I had. And then I remember one of my teachers was so enthusiastic, and she taught us 20th century British history. So it was very pop culture and she was very enthusiastic, and I just enjoyed it. So it was all about the professor. It was like whoever was really entertaining, besties. Would you make a YouTube video or podcast every Tamblezierian days, fun, iconic, chaotic era? I really should. It's funny, I was thinking about it today. I've been writing some stuff, and people ask me like if I would write a memoir, but I'm like, I don't know, because I don't want anyone to be in trouble. I wouldn't say anything bad. I think I could do it in a way that I was being truthful and accurate without making people look bad, because I don't know if I'd include all the scary stuff. But yeah, I would like to tell you some of those stories. They're very funny. I still can't believe he's a real person. I love people like that, where you're just like, are you a real person, or are you like a cartoon character? I can't believe he's a real person still, all these years later. What's my favorite? My favorite color is green. What goals have you set that you haven't accomplished yet? I'd like to write a book. I'd like to build a house one day. I'd like to build something. Build something that doesn't exist. I'm really interested in that. There's a few more, some that I won't put on here, but I'm going to accomplish those things for sure. You really like someone I write songs too. I've just gotten into songwriting. That's why I'm taking the guitar lessons. And I would love if someone cool sang one of my songs. I really do think I'm a good songwriter, so I would like that. I have a bunch of goals. There's a million things I want to do. If you were to date a guy, would you prefer to have 500 followers or 5 million? It would totally depend. A lot of it would depend on what kind of man that was in real life. I don't know. It's really contingent on like who he is in real life. So I don't think it would matter to me. I'm really more attracted to like who this person is. Okay, there's so many good ones. We should just leave it on one more. Let's leave it on one more. I'm sorry I sound so sniffly, you guys, this whole time. Okay. I want to leave a good one. ¿Hablas español? ¿Tu favorito photo? Un poco. Tu favorito es con mi perro, for sure. Some photo of me and Tosh. Me and mi perro Tosh. You guys don't make me do my Spanish. I'm not that great orally, but that's a horrible thing. That's a bad line to say. I'm not that great orally. My Spanish is not as great orally, but my Spanish is good. I can read it really well. The other day I was actually in the car with my dad, and I was driving by this, and there was an ad on the side, and it was in Spanish, and I read it, and I said, Dad, I said, Dad, did you know that you can't get to, Cienega and Pico in an hour, but you can get checked for prediabetes in that time? And I read that on the bench, and he was like, you are so dumb. I was like, I read the ad. What's your favorite foundation? You're always flawless. Oh, that's so nice. I'm wearing a NARS, like one of the tinted moisturizers. I don't wear a lot in real life, and I like this look better. And I always want to do this look on a carpet, but I'm afraid that I'm gonna look washed out. Like, I'm afraid to try not professional makeup. But I look 13 years younger than when I put on a bunch of makeup. And trust me, I know it, but I want to look like me. And I'm always like, I was trying to work with my artist. I'm like, can I look like me where we like put anything on, but we know it's going to photograph like me? And I think it's just really hard to find that balance. So I'm going to work on that. I might even just do a red carpet with like no makeup and see what happens. Who knows? I'll do one more. Who's doing my hair? That's Kyle Hennessy Hair. She's done my hair forever. We should do one more. If you could go back to do one thing over in your life, what would it be and why? Does anyone ever answer within a specific event? I feel like every time I hear people get this question, they never say they would do something different. Am I crazy, or is that just what I feel like I've heard forever? Because I always feel like people say the same thing, and I agree with them. I don't want to go back or change anything. I like where I'm at in my life right now. I think it's interesting. Bad things happen, and they are for the plot, and they're for character development, and they suck. And I think some of the greatest stories have some of the worst tragedies, and thus is life. And I think life is a pendulum swing. So I've had things that didn't work out for me, and things that have been hard, and I've been molded into this person, and I'm praying that she gets her due. And I think that I deserve some cool things in life. And I think I've gotten great things in life. I think I have a wonderful life, and I really can't ask for more, even though I'm hungry for more. But yeah, so I wouldn't go back and do anything else. I wouldn't go back and change anything. I don't think life is meant to be lived perfectly. I did my best with all the tools that I had, and I think that as my tools get better, I get better. And yeah, I don't know. Everything happens for a reason, or does it? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go study about that new thing that I heard about during this podcast. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Eyes Up Here. Sorry if I sound like Atlantic City. But no, well, in Atlantic City. No, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Eyes Up Here. And I'm going to do my best to film the podcast the next time I do it. I'm doing my best. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, as always. Bye, besties. I'm like, in it right? Okay. Look, she might not know how to do a lot of stuff, but at least, are you proud of this? Like, I got my little recorder. It's not even that hard. Anyway, I love you guys. Bye.